Hi everyone, we're sailing from Port Williams to the Falkland Islands. We just finished an Antarctic expedition and now we're on our way to Stanley again to pick up Skip Novak and a team of scientists. And where are we sailing to?
Well, we're sailing to the South Sandwich Islands and we're super excited to go there because it's a string of volcanic islands that extend down to over 59 degrees south, and it's really far away and pretty hostile and remote regions.
Yeah, it's about 1,200 miles from Stanley.
Yep.
Crossing the Scotia Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, we're going to stop off at South Georgia, which we absolutely fell in love with in September. So I'm going to show you on the chart now where we left from yesterday, where we're going to, should arrive tomorrow, and then the routes for the 5-week expedition. So we were in Port Williams, which is the most southerly town in the world. You can see the southern tip of Chile there. We sailed out of the channel making our way up to the Falklands. We'll put into Stanley, which is where we'll pick everyone up. We re-provision, restock, make our way south of South Georgia. You can see cross south of the Antarctic Convergence Zone. That's when the temperature really drops. South Sandwich Islands, and you can see there are a string of them that extend southwards and they dip below 59 degrees south.
Very good.
What are you looking forward to the most?
I think the rugged landscape, the volcanic background and the windswept area.
Yeah.
And obviously the wildlife, huge penguin colonies.
Yeah, and also knowing that we're so far away from anyone else. There'll be no other boats down there. There's no science bases, no weather stations. It's remote. You're on your own.
Probably as remote as it gets.
Yeah.
We slipped lines from Stanley and motored out of Port William. Good. So what are we doing?
We're going to get the genoa out. We need to free the sheets up. Free the sheets there.
Not long after departing, a pod of PEALES dolphins appeared.
So it's currently about 2 in the morning here. I'm on watch. Most of my watch are poorly, they're seasick, so they're in their bunks. So I'm running this as a solo watch, which is actually quite peaceful. But yeah, it's going to be watch change in an hour, and it's pretty cold outside. It's actually cold inside, so I better get that kettle on. Got to keep this hot drinks going.
Good morning, Sophie. How's it going?
Yes, I'm just putting the kettle on for the next watch change. So they have a piping hot kettle for a hot drink because it's I think coming up to 3 a.m.
Yep.
Which is called the graveyard shift, and actually it's your watch.
Yeah, no.
So I'm making this for you.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to a hot brew.
Always at that
nice
hour.
Fresh cup of coffee. Soon the winds picked up, blowing directly over the stern. So we set the poles and goose winged the foresails. Pelagic really took off, making 15 knots across the waves.
With a foresight upon us, the crew helped us reef for the night ahead.
Hey Soph.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going? It was a bit of a stormy night.
Yeah, it was quite a lively one.
How's it now?
Well, I mean, we put the reef in and we furled the Yankee a bit earlier, but just unfurled it and she's feeling all right.
Yep. Wind has eased a bit.
The wind's dropped off a little bit. It's still a 4-6, but that's nice and warm. The sea state sort of mellowed out a little bit more, which is nice. The scientists include volcanologists,
Yep. Glaciologist.
penguinologists,
And
happy whale,
happy whale. Yep.
yeah, which is really cool. We're excited to have Ted Cheeseman on,
Yep.
and then a film team as well.
One of the projects on board was to record whale sounds using a hydrophone. In good conditions, Ted Cheeseman, who was leading this project, launched the hydrophone from the stern. But when the weather deteriorated, all 500 meters of spectra had to be hauled back in, which seemed a relentless workout.
As we got nearer to the South Sandwich Islands, we started spotting huge, great big icebergs drifting in the open water. The first recorded sighting of these islands was in 1775 by the explorer Captain James Cook. These regions are so far away that sighting land was a really exciting moment for all on board.
Our first stop was Saunders, and we anchored in the lee of the island. The crew were eager to go ashore, and so they got kitted up in dry suits, preparing for a wet landing. In the rolling swell, launching the dinghy was a team effort. Skip went ashore with the first group to scout out a good landing spot.
I had an opportunity to go ashore, and so putting on my dry suit and packing my camera gear, I ventured onto the dark sandy shores at the base of the volcano. I was stunned by my surroundings and the ground that I stood upon. It felt like another world. Yet so much life exists here, with huge numbers of wildlife. I saw 4 breeds of penguins in one place. I couldn't believe my eyes, so I set up my camera gear to film, capturing intimate moments where chicks were feeding and the busy lives that penguins lead. From chinstrap penguins to gentoos and the Adelies on their busy arterial highway. Oh, and a macaroni made an appearance too. Whilst some of the scientists, such as the penguinologists, had their subjects around them, The volcanologists had to trek into the heights of the volcano. Our next stop was Bellingshausen and Southern Thule. Sailing between the islands brought various conditions due to the acceleration zones.
Due to the charts having little soundings and recordings, we dropped the sails, unlocked the lifting keel and cautiously motored the last few miles in, just in case we found an uncharted pinnacle or rock.
The coastline was fortified by cliffs and beaches clad in boulders, which made landing sometimes challenging, but incredibly the penguins seemed to thrive here.
Okay, let go.
In places we couldn't land, the penguinologists launched their drone for aerial footage to document the numbers.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Well done.
Southern Thule was our most southerly point, and after here we made our way north to Candlemas.
It was at times some rough sailing, but we were rewarded by arriving in the safe anchorage.
After this, we then took on the challenge of trying to land on the hostile shores of Zavodovski. But its dangerous cliffs and strong winds meant this was not to be.
Instead, we all looked on as we observed the island from the deck of Pelagic, and the penguin team flew their drone for the final time. We hope you have enjoyed part 1 of this journey. You can follow our Facebook and Instagram accounts to stay updated for the release of part 2.